Welcome to the Lead Pedal Podcast with your host, Bruce Outridge, where he talks all things trucking. Now let's get rolling.
Hello, welcome to the Lead Pedal Podcast. I'm your host, Bruce Outridge. This is episode number 1030, and we've got some great people to talk with today. We're going to be talking with members of the Young Leaders Group. This group is very impressive, and what they do is they are from Mohawk College. They are all looking for jobs in the transportation industry, and they all have impressive resumes to start. And we're going to showcase them and talk about them right after this, so stay tuned. Hey folks, are you an owner-operator looking for a place to call home? Well, Rims Transport is based out of Hamilton, Ontario, and that's right, they are a place owner-operator fleet only. They run flatbed out of Hamilton, and they don't run much more than 5 to 700 mile radius. So if you're looking for a place that you can get back home on a regular basis, you can get good miles, they have a great culture for owner-operators, and they want you to succeed, then Rims Transport's the place to do that. Where can you learn more? Go to rimstransport.com. Make sure you tell them that the Lead Pedal Podcast sent you, and we want you to be successful. We know them personally over there, and we know they're going to take good care of you. You got open board, you've got tandem US, you got multi-axle US, you got city, you got all kinds of positions available there, all owner-operator fleet. So if you want to be successful for 2023 and beyond, then get on with Rims Transport and tell them we sent you. All right, everybody, talk to you later. Go to rimstransport.com. All right, let's start off with the Young Leaders Group. We got two groups that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the Young Leaders Group from PMTC, and then we're also going to talk about the bursary recipient for KRTS in 10th Street. So, but let's start off with the PMTC Young Leaders Group. The PMTC Young Leaders Group, if you don't know about them, they're a group within the Private Motor Truck Council of young people. And when I say young people, people in their I'm going to say anywhere from 20s to 40s. And it's a group to encourage younger people to get into the industry. It's headed up by Matt Richardson, Leanne Drummond, and a number of other people there. It's supported by 10th Street, which is a driver service technology for recruiting, who works closely with PMTC. And then they've got mentors and they've got coaches, and it's a lot of the students that they get are from Mohawk College, and the Mohawk College students have to apply in order to be part of the program. So they're not, they have a class of 20 or 30 or however many students are in the class, but the PMTC chooses like the top 3. And these people usually get jobs, and what they do is they mentor them and they introduce them to people in the industry and help them improve their resume and all kinds of stuff. It's pretty impressive to see what they do. And we're going to start off with an introduction from Leanne Drummond, who is one of the Young Leaders Group. She's been an awards recipient and mentor as well, and we've met Leanne many times. But she's going to talk about and introduce the 4 young people for the YLG, the Young Leaders Group. So here we go.
This has, in my term in the YLG, been my goodness, keep it together, woman. I'm so proud of these kids. This has been one of the most rewarding experiences that we have had in the YLG. What we're doing is we're selecting the top students from Mohawk Supply Chain Management Program, and they are interviewed, they submit their resumes, they submit a statement as to what the value of being part of our program would bring to their careers. We speak a lot about our shortages in the industry and how it is so hard to find good people. And these students really are a testament of they are there, we're just not connecting with them. And so through this program, we've been able to make those connections. These students are assigned a YLG senior leader in our group and as a mentor, and they have that mentor for the entire year. We have brought them to events, we've introduced them to many people, and through the sponsorship with 10th Street, we're able to do a lot of these activities with them. They've been armed with business cards, we've helped them with interviewing, resume writing. They're truly exceptional students that have, as you just heard, very inspiring stories, and they come with experience in fields that we desperately need as well. So I just want to bring them up on stage to introduce them, and if you have a moment to come up and meet them as we're in our networking sessions later on. First, I have Tulu Lope right here. He has a Bachelor of Science in Human Kinetics and Health Education. He's also an experienced supply chain coordinator and operations manager. He is currently applying for jobs. He has a big interest in health and safety within our transportation industry, but he is open to other opportunities within the industry as well. Udam Sinachi, who you just met, he has a Bachelor of Pharmacy. He's experienced in logistics, and he's an experienced logistics and analyst. His experience also includes last mile delivery of public health commodities for both cold and non-cold chain. As you heard, his experience with HIV and some vaccine distribution, really inspiring. Karina Conde, she has a Bachelor of Science degree in chemical engineering. She's an experienced procurement engineer in international shipments by land, water, and air. These are just such small snippets of these students' resumes, and really exceptional. If you get the opportunity to come talk to them, please do. And they also deserve a round of applause because yesterday morning they just graduated.
Hey folks, in today's economy, it's what you keep in your pocket that's important. And that means your taxes as well. And you know what? I want to tell you about RS 2000 Tax Services. They specialize in the trucking industry. That's right. Whether you're an owner-operator, a carrier, a truck driver, it doesn't matter. They can help you because they understand the importance of you being on the road and the kind of things that you're going to come up against. And so they can help you. And I got to tell you, they are extremely proud of the service they provide because they provide it to most of Ontario. They're available 7 days a week, 12 months of the year. That's right. The people that are going to be dealing with you are going to be at your home, at your business, wherever you need them to come to because they understand that you're traveling. You don't have time to go and drive somewhere else on a weekend. You've only got a certain amount of time to be with your family. So they come to you. You can ask them questions anytime at 1-800-304-3986. And they operate Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Although they're consultants and accountants that deal with you, work with your schedule, so you will be available there. If you want to give them a call, again, tell them that the Lead Pedal Podcast sent you at 1-800-304-3986, or you can visit their website at rs2000tax.com. They're in Komoka, Ontario, but they don't want you to go there. That's why they come to you. Who can find Komoka? Anyway, we've been dealing with them for a while. They've been in business since 1994, and I can tell you, we've had them here on the podcast many times talking about their services, so you can go and listen to any of those episodes if you want to hear what they have to say. But they have been around for a long time. They specialize in trucking, and better off, they specialize in you. Give them a call at 1-800-304-3986 or visit them at rs2000tax.com. Make sure you tell them we sent you. All right, so that was pretty impressive right there. So I had a chance to sit down with them. They came to my private studio at a private truck motor council, and I got a big shout out to her. She wasn't on the interview, but their teacher, I guess, instructor. Carol Valentine Fleck. She was the coordinator professor of the supply chain management and was at the show, hoping to get in to talk with them, actually. Big shout out to Carol for getting all of that done. But we're going to be talking with Karina, Udo Samashi, and Tulupe. And hopefully I got their names right but anyway, very, very impressive. And I had a chance to sit down and talk with them about, well, trucking. Let's get to that. Start this. Okay, so we've got the Young Leaders Group. Woohoo! All right, so we'll start here, and we'll just have you introduce yourself, and then I guess tell us you had something going on before the program, right? Like you have a degree before going on. If I got that right, yeah. Right. So tell us what your original degree is when you went into the.
Yeah. Hi. Thank you. My name is Tolo Cabello, and yes, I'm part of the PMTC Young Leaders Group.
Right.
Yeah. I had a background in health and safety. I actually have a master's in health and safety management. And now I just graduated at Mohawk with a honors in supply chain management.
Oh, congratulations! So they're hunting you down upstairs.
Right.
You'll be hired before you leave here today. How about yourself?
Hi, I'm Karina. Thank you for having us here today.
Sure.
I have a degree in chemical engineering.
Oh, cool.
And I work in a multinational company, procurement of chemicals, global shipment.
Okay.
And I recently graduated also from Mohawk College with high honors.
Oh, nice.
With honors.
Wow. Am I allowed to be in this room? I'm not sure about that.
And I recently got a job just a month ago.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to say where you're working? I don't mind.
I work in Felfab Limited. We produce engineered textile solutions for military, aviation, transportation.
Oh, wow. Good for you. Congratulations. Holy smokes. How about yourself?
Oh, thank you. My name is Udom Sinachi. Well, I try to make it easy for people. I ask them to call me Michael.
Let's go with that one.
Which one, Michael or Udom Sinachi?
Whatever you want.
It's okay. In terms of my background, I'm a trained pharmacist from Nigeria.
Okay.
I have also pursued my MBA in business administration, and in order to upskill and become more relevant in supply chain space, I took up the supply chain program at Mohawk. Pretty much because I had years of experience working as a supply chain professional, but again, I just felt I needed to upskill. And along with my colleagues, one of the mentees for the PMTC Young Leaders Group is a wonderful opportunity. I'm also excited again to say that yes, I'm one of the graduates, recent graduates from Mohawk College supply chain program with an honors.
Oh, holy jeez. Well, I'll leave here now because apparently this interview is over. I don't know what I'm going to ask you. Carol, this is where I really need your help there.
No worries, I'm right here for you.
Very impressive, and congratulations to all of you for doing what you do. I'm kind of interested because it sounds like you were accomplished already, other than you're not old enough to have 60 years experience. That's what you're missing, the age. But that's okay. That'll come with you. But what made you want to get into transportation? It sounds like you all had anybody with degrees, and it sounds like you're in some pretty good industries, chemical and pharmaceuticals and so forth. Why would you want to get into transportation? What made you look at the logistics career? Anybody can answer. This is an open conversation for everybody.
Okay, I think I'll pick on that first. From past experience, and then also from the training back from the school and everything. In short, things that we've known about transportation. I would like to have an understanding and a belief that, when we're talking about collaboration, transportation comes in. It's like you getting to intertwine with a whole lot of people. Industries want to make connections. There's a whole lot of transportation in it, and we live in a world where production is highly one of the key things that move the market, move the economy. You know what I mean? You have a site over there, you produce over here, and then you want to extend to the grassroots and every other place around. You need transportation pretty much. Right. So I'll say transportation is actually key to life. You know what I mean? Even if you want to get to a place, you want to get to a hospital, you still need transportation in all forms.
Yeah.
Right. So if you see that as part of life, you want to go get something, then we can underestimate the real impact of transportation in the whole of the industries.
And you're in health and safety, right? Which is key. Transportation without safety is not transportation. It's cowboys. So very good. And now you actually got a job. So you got a job. Is it the kind of job you were looking for going into the industry?
Yes, it is, and I'm very, very glad that my company actually consider my background in engineering.
I would think so. Yeah.
Because we're international students, and we came from I came from Philippines, and I'm just new here in Canada, so I don't have really the experience in this new kind of environment. So PMTC helped me a lot in getting into my new job, because PMTC gave me this opportunity to be a part of the Canadian a part of a Canadian organization, and to like Cleon said, we're hidden gems.
Yeah, you are.
We can offer a lot, but the new environment that we're in is can't see that for now. So thank you for PMTC for giving us this opportunity.
That's great. And how about yourself? Now you're in pharmaceuticals. Are you looking to get into a pharmaceutical company? Is that kind of
I mean, one of the things I love most about supply chain and logistics is that the principles are virtually the same, regardless of the only thing that differs the product.
Right.
And I just want to go back to answer your question.
Sure, please do.
Why logistics and why transportation? She's from Philippines, I'm from Nigeria, right? And I had worked with donor-funded agencies to get critical life-saving products to people across very remote locations.
Right.
And you're in Canada, but it will amaze you that 5 minutes in supply chain or in logistics in a country like Nigeria is very critical and can save your life, right? A pregnant woman in labor, bleeding, needs a particular vial of, say, oxytocin.
Right.
She doesn't have it.
Right.
Maybe because they don't have access to proper logistics or transportation system to get that product there, and she loses her life. Right. And working in that space, I have seen a huge impact of logistics on health systems and how it can markedly improve the quality of lives people get. And that's why I'm pretty much interested in continuing that path. However, I'm pretty much flexible. I'd love to learn from other industries. Very open-minded, and I like to work with cross-functional teams. But for now, I would say my current search is with pharmaceuticals and healthcare.
Wow.
But again, just my motivation is how logistics and supply chain as it were as a whole is able to implement impact lives more than what we think. I think COVID-19 made that very, very, very visible.
A lot of people woke up that were sleeping and go, how come we don't have healthcare here or whatever it is, right? So it's amazing. I am so impressed. I interviewed your PMTC Young Leaders from the last group, Casey being the one, and I think Sid still reaches out to me on LinkedIn and stuff once in a while. So it's nice to see you guys are so ambitious, and we keep hearing young people can't find jobs, and here you guys are coming to conferences and getting hired before you leave. I don't understand. What are your other friends or classmates or there's 3 of you here, and I know it's quite a they have a whole test system for you to get to where you are. Are the other people not thinking like that? Like, are they still wondering, what am I going to do when I grow up type thing? Or you guys are all well accomplished already. It's amazing. What are your other students saying, or your friends? Are they thinking, oh, you're crazy? Why are you being so ambitious? Why are you getting into trucking?
I think I'll give credit to the faculty, right? They really exposed us to the end-to-end side of supply chain. And I want to believe that some of my colleagues have other passion, not necessarily in logistics or transportation. Some of them are very passionate about procurement side. Some are very passionate about the warehousing and the distribution side. But the most important thing is how it all ties together. Right. But with respect to this opportunity, being part of the Young Leaders Group mentorship program, I am sure that they would love to have maybe the number of students expand more than 3. I think they just had 3 slots. Right. And we've had conversations, and a lot of them were quite excited for us to be nominated as part of the mentorship program. And if I'm allowed to say this,
sure, you say whatever you want to do. Whatever you want. It's your show. It's your show.
I think, like Karina said, there are a lot of hidden gems and a lot of opportunities to interact and help students to network and get to meet people and understand the industry in Canada. I think 10th Street is doing a lot to support the PMTC Young Leaders Group, and I think there are other organizations out there that can equally do the same. And by doing so, I think that they can expand on the number of students they can take on the mentorship program. And again, if I can say this is an open call for people to collaborate Mohawk College or other institutions, just to create that platform for international students to interact, learn about the industry, network, and obviously show their talents.
That's amazing. So the last group, I asked the same question. How many of you are, and it was asked to Casey yesterday, how many of you are thinking of getting your license to drive? Everybody's got the same reaction.
Yeah. So
I'm the only driver in this room.
In my own case and experience, because I remember the first time we spoke to Liam or something like that, and she was like, "Oh, okay, what are you actually open to do?" So I'm like, you know what? Maybe someday I just want to have a fleet of my own, and she's like, "Oh, if you want to have a fleet of your own, then you're gonna learn how to drive. You have to get a diesel license. You have to get a hazel license." I'm like, "Really? Do I have to do that?" Like,
if you want them to listen to you, you do.
Yeah. So, and then when she said it, I picked up on it, and I actually did my research, because I have a friend in the army that just got a dump truck, you know, and he was just like, "Oh, I have to go for my license now," or something like that. I'm like, okay, so tell me about it. You know? Yeah. So he said, "Oh, yeah, because if you have it, if you want to own it as a company, then you have to have a license."
Yeah.
You know? So I'm like, okay, maybe before I'm like, I don't think I want to do this, but if he has to come with the job and the profession, why not?
We're still bugging Casey, and he's 2 years in, right? We're still asking him the same question.
I'll just go for it, at least, just to have it.
I can tell you, I drove for 25 years, so that's where I actually started. I am not well educated like you guys. I dropped out of high school to get into trucking. There's where we went, and started at 17 in the moving industry. But I've built my way up, and here I am. I'm 60 next month. I've been in this industry my whole life. Thank you. I've been in this industry my whole life. Drove for 25. I ended up being a supervisor of a fleet. I've been a trainer. I'm now media for the industry. And
that's great.
Everything came from the seat. Like, being behind the wheel helps you focus the whole industry. So no matter what you guys are doing in your industry, whether you drive or not, I'm not saying you should drive professionally, but if you have the opportunity to go out with drivers and see the way they actually work at whatever company you're with, take that opportunity. Don't miss it, because that will open your eyes to, you know, how much. Even crossing the border as a driver, I used to take a load to Boston, and the next week I'd pick up the same load. Why did it go to Boston? To get a stamp put on it that had to be done in Boston, you know? And you wonder why our transportation costs are so high. It's because of that kind of thing. That's regulatory or what have you, right? So it's a real learning curve. I don't want to keep you all day. We could go on forever, but I mean, I'm so happy and fascinated and honored to have you guys here, because you're really doing amazing things. It's nice to see the world's going to be in a good place, you know, when I'm on my way out. So, you know, when you guys take over the world, it'll still be here. Judging by some of the other people I've seen, I'm going, okay, we're in trouble already. Any final thoughts about, I know you all are really pro on the PMTC Young Leaders Group. If you want to share, I don't know, quickly your experience with the group or your experience here at the conference. What do you think of the conference? You guys, it's the first time you've been here? Probably second one.
We probably just done it.
So is it working? Are you getting networks and leads? Are you talking to people?
It is really working. Like, it's amazing, because I was just discussing with Hodom Snatch just yesterday, like, the way I see the driver safety, because there's one we did that happens to be the driver safety was the topic. The driven to lead the driver safety. And I'm like, just last week I was out of I drove to the US, you know, and then I'm like, okay, this is actually one of the things one should know to actually understand what the drivers go through on the highway, like driver safety. And then coming from what JJ just said about the fatigue, you know, because I drove to DC, and I left like 11 o'clock in the night, because I wanted to drive through the traffic. So by the time it's working hours, I'm already in DC in the morning, right? And it was all foggy. I was going through the mountains from the Pennsylvania through the farmlands. I'm like, okay, with a car, I can't even see the road. You know, so how does this driver do it? They have heavy load of how many tons? You know, 1,000 tons?
80,000 pounds,
Exactly, and then they're like, this is what actually looking into. I probably want to write a paper on it and actually interview one or two of them, see, okay, how do you feel? So you coming up from you now saying, if you have a chance to sit with them and actually know what it is, it's actually something to look out for.
If you go, there's a back road that goes down to Georgia if you're going to Atlanta, and it's through the mountains, and at Christmas time, everybody does their house up. but it's like you say, you cannot see the road. It
all
looks like the
foggy.
houses are floating because you see
Yes.
them all lit up for Christmas lights, but you don't see the road or the mountains or anything because it's all black.
It was
It's kind of cool.
I'm like, no way, like I have to come back during the day because
Yeah,
I don't think I can do this personally.
Yeah,
So I mean, it's just like you come for conferences like this, and then you heard things theoretically, and then it's not coming into practical. So it's like putting all this stuff into reality. You know what I mean? So it's an amazing program. It's mind opening, eye opening.
And you're at the best companies here. I hate to say it, but for a driver, from a driver standpoint, where you make the most money, and I've worked for 2 private fleets in my career, where you make the most money is at a private fleet. Because they have a corporation behind them usually, so they pay the best, the equipment's usually the best, and they're not looking for you to go for 3 weeks at a time. It's more of a regional operation. So for drivers, but you don't get there. The private fleet I worked for was chemical. They didn't even look at you until you had 5-6 years experience. And most of the guys on the team had 20 plus.
Yeah, wow.
They're not looking for anybody brand new. So it's not something that you could jump in today. So if you get into that today, where you guys are right out of the gate, you're great. What's your thoughts on either the conference or the PMTC?
I'd like to recommend this to my colleagues and to the future applicants of PMTC if they have any plans to apply for sponsorship, because it's a really good experience, and it's for career development, for educational journey, for new experiences, and the networking, the knowledge that you gain from these conferences that you attend. I have a friend in Mohawk College that wants to apply, but he's a career jumper. He doesn't have any background in transportation, so he doesn't want to apply. But then when I heard about what you said, that you don't have to have an experience, right?
Yeah.
So just have the skills and the determination to do whatever you want to do, especially in transportation. So you can do it. It doesn't mean that you have to have the background in transportation.
Pretty well, all these big companies, they all started with one person who's just passionate about what they're doing. Nobody. I'm still learning today, and I've been doing this forever. So, how about yourself?
Thank you. I share the same view with my colleagues here. I think the opportunity to visit this conference, and I just also want to pause to also say that working with the PMTC group and this opportunity has opened us up to a few other conferences, like the one we mentioned at the Driving to Lead, and some other opportunities where we've met different industry professionals and interacted and learned from them. Just gotten those tips that will propel us to the next level of our career. Coming down to this particular conference, it was interesting you said most of the good organizations are represented here.
Right.
And that's something I'm also keen about, right? Ensuring that I'm applying for jobs in good, very reputable organizations. And yesterday, during the cocktail, when we were having conversations, I met about 2 or 3 reps from organizations that I had applied to. Pretty much because I was keen about them, the professionalism, how they valued their staff. And here am I meeting them here. And it was a huge opportunity for me to reiterate why I wanted to work with them, to pitch, to show them a couple of some of them asked for my resumes, some of them we shared our business cards. And thanks to, again, the program, we have our business cards. I'm just saying this to say that it's a huge opportunity to get into the industry, especially for young professionals that are enthusiastic about logistics, transportation, and supply chain as a whole.
Awesome.
And yes, I'm so excited to be here and to be part of this particular conference.
Great. Well, it's great to have you. I think everybody should come, but I mean, everybody, can't come. I really think it's amazing, and I was very impressed with Carol. I was impressed with you and what you said yesterday at the board meeting too. I'm interested in learning more about you guys and what you do. I know about the PMTC. You know what? It's nice to see that, because this is one of the reasons I left school. You mentioned trucking, and I'm an artist too. So you mentioned trucking or artist, they go, okay, you're not going to make it. You know what? I'm here to tell you can make it, right? So thank you guys. I appreciate that very much.
Thank you so much, Bruce.
Hey, everybody, you've heard of Rosedale Transport. Well, they've got tons of opportunities for you no matter what you want to do. You know what? It doesn't matter what terminal, because they have terminals all across North America, and they are looking for owner-operators, truck drivers, and other team members that might be of interest. The best way to find out all the information about Rosedale, the history of a 50-year company that's stable and rock solid in the industry, is to go to rosedalegroup.com. That's right, just go to rosedalegroup.com, and you can see all the opportunities. Look under the careers tab. You'll see what's available. You'll see they've got 800 employees, 2,500 happy clients, 15 offices, and 50 years of trust. And when you get there and you talk to them and you say, hey, you know what, I want to be part of your team, make sure you tell them that you heard about it from the Lead Pedal podcast. All right, rosedalegroup.com. Tell them we sent you. Bye. All right, now our next young man we're going to talk with is Max Sundquist. And Max was with Spring Creek Carriers, and he won the CMV Driver Training Scholarship. And this is a bursary put on by KRTS, and I believe 10th Street as well is in this one, and or PMTC. Very well done. So what they do is they take an individual, the person has to apply as well for this, and then they go through the truck training, and they actually become a truck driver. They go through the training. KRTS supplies the training, and it's quite an informative eye opener. Now, the person that won this was Max, and Max Sundquist. He was already working with Spring Creek Carriers, but not in a driving position. He's been working and helping out in other areas, and he is now going to be taking the truck driving. And so I had a chance to talk to him right after. We're going to go through this presentation first, and then once we get through the presentation, I had a chance to talk to him about his future as a truck driver. All right, so I'm here with Max and Celine, and Celine, and you just won. Okay, so congratulations.
Thank you. Yes.
You just won. What is it? The bursary award. What is the actual proper name? Hold on, I just had it up on my phone, so I should know. The KRTS, 10th Street, who is it? So it's the CMV Driver Training Scholarship.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Woo!
correct.
That's a lot for me to say.
Yeah, I'm glad you had it ready, because I did not.
I took a picture of the slide. I just cheated.
Yes,
you learn to do that for things. So okay. So now, how did you get in line to get that bursary? Like, what did you are you new to transportation or old to transportation? Or?
Yeah, so I actually, before Spring Creek, my current employer, I've been there for just over 3 years now, about 3.5 years. I, by chance, just applied for a data entry job at a third-party logistics provider, which is obviously a different side of the business, because right now, Spring Creek, I work with assets, and I wasn't really... I enjoyed what I was doing, but it wasn't, I knew something was missing, right? So, and I couldn't really pinpoint it. And through Lisa, right, Celine's mother, who's in the insurance industry.
And knows the whole world.
Right, knows the whole world, mentioned that Spring Creek was looking for someone to fill a similar role, but in an assets kind of, side of the business, right, instead, which at the time I barely even understood the difference, right? But obviously as time went on, I did. So, I took the leap, went through the interview process with Spring Creek, and I will say it was one of the more intensive ones I've ever done in my life. I think I had 5 interviews. 4 of them were, remote because it was during COVID. And then the 5th interview, I met them in person, and they brought me on board really at the peak of COVID in 2020.
Wow.
And so I ended up in transportation by chance, but, I guess I was pushed slightly by,
You married into transportation.
Yeah, and my father was a truck driver for 30 years, right? So
you're not new to this. It's not like you've never...
No, not really. But I mean, as far as like the, really getting down to it, the technical side of things, I would still consider myself fairly new, right? Like, I have a bit of an idea, but I'm still learning all the time. So,
I am too, and I've been through this for 40 years. I've been in this thing. Well, that's great. Congratulations. So now, now you're working there, but you're not driving. So the bursary is to get your driver's license.
Correct. Yeah, that's right. So it's to get me through. Well, in this case, because it's the PMTC will set you up. KRTC sponsors the program, but if I had lived in Nova Scotia, they would have done the same thing. Except obviously KRTS wouldn't have provided the training. They would have paid for the training through whoever the provider would have been in where locally where the winner was. So. In this case, because it is in Ontario, KRTS will be providing the training. So yes, that is what it is for. It's to get me through the training program that they offer to become a truck driver. Yeah.
Is that what you want to do?
That's a tough question, right? Because I wouldn't say no, but I mean, when the program and the scholarship were described to me, and one of the reasons why I decided to move forward with it is because it wasn't necessarily advertised as like you need to become a truck driver, right? As long as you're in the industry and you can find a way to take that program and the training that it's provided and make a positive impact on the industry, then that's what the program is really for, right? Because I wouldn't say I necessarily don't want to be a truck driver, but I don't know if I do, right? But I know that the main reason I wanted to do it was because as a dispatcher at Spring Creek, right, I do the outbound dispatch.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah, so that's, it's split up into 3 very easy categories. We have a local dispatcher, someone that dispatches the trucks from the U.S. back to Canada, and then me, who does from Canada to the U.S.
Yeah.
A big part of, my knowledge that was missing was obviously, really understanding what it's like to truly be behind the wheel, right?
Yeah.
So that was the main driving factor for me, was I wanted to be able to just have a better idea of what it's actually like to operate one of these machines, right?
Yeah.
So
even if you just do it for a couple of years, just like no one says you have to drive for 25. I drove for 25 years, but you don't have to drive that long. But if you do that, it will take you from dispatcher here to dispatcher up here.
Right, yeah.
And not only in your knowledge, but in the respect from the other drivers, right? Because they'll go, okay, he's done this job, right? So I would encourage you to go out, even if it's for a little while, just to get your feet wet and get the experience. Don't waste the license. I would get out there and do it for a little while, and then you can always come back in if you find it's not for you. But you will find that it really changes everything you do from now on,
right? Because
you understand exactly what happens in the seat. And all the best dispatchers I've ever had, they were all drivers at one time, so they understood when the guy calls in from Jersey and says, "I can't get into the dock," and so is. You go, I get it.
Right.
I've been in that dock, or I've been in a dock similar.
That was the main driving factor, right? Is our drivers are all very respectful, and we put their opinion first. If they feel it's not safe or they don't want to do something, we totally respect that. Yeah. But it'd be great to truly understand why, right? Which is,
and you're an LTL carrier, which means you're at more than one dock a day.
Absolutely, yeah. Our drivers are averaging, 15 to 20 stops a trip, and whether you're in Pittsburgh or the Carolinas or somewhere more rural, maybe like Savannah, like it's all that training will help a lot, right? And help me pick the right places.
Did you know you were winning today, or was it a total surprise?
No, I knew, right? Because I had to prepare I had to write an essay, about what I wanted to do with the scholarship and why I thought it was the good choice. And obviously, Calvin Bergman, one of the owners of Spring Creek, wrote that beautiful piece about me, which was very kind, right? Which was read today. So that's good. Yeah, I did know I was winning. Yes.
Oh, good. So how long have you been in the industry? You're in the insurance side, right? You followed your mom?
I am, yeah. So I've been a broker for about 2 years now.
Okay.
But I worked all through my high school, university, all of those years in the insurance industry, specifically focusing on transportation.
Okay. So what do you think? What do you think of this thing? What do you think of the industry? You like the industry? Is it what you thought? Like, I mean, you've been in it. I think you once you're in it, you kind of don't even. Yeah. My kids, they just see it as trucking. They don't even understand what I did, and they go, "You just work too hard." Well, I loved it. I mean, you love driving.
Right.
Get a big shiny truck, you'll love it. Trust me, it changes your day.
There were no rose-colored glasses for me. I was very aware of coming into the transportation space, and I prefer to be here. Actually, I've been encouraged to try different avenues in insurance and risk management, but I keep coming back to transportation because I like trucks.
Do you want them going on the road?
It depends.
Oh, we haven't had that conversation yet. Oh, okay. I'll leave that one alone.
I think for me, looking at that too, I have an immense amount of respect, especially for our drivers that run particularly far. Like we have a few drivers that run down to, as far as like Naples, Florida, or Savannah, Georgia, like some really far runs, 1,500 plus miles, and they're often gone 6 days a week, and if that works for you, and that I totally respect that. But for me, even when I do get behind the wheel, I wouldn't be putting my hand up for a 1,500 mile run. No,
I have a 3-year-old.
Yeah, I have a little boy at home, so but I'd be happy to do. I'd go cross border for sure, but I don't know if I could do 5-6 day runs.
There's
right?
lots
Like,
of but even running, that's the problem with the industry. We explain it wrong. So like if you run, let's say you run New Jersey or Rochester or something. You can do 3 trips a week. You're still gone 6 days, but you're home every other night, technically.
Yes.
So, depending on the run and, how your life is situation, you can actually make it work. For me, I used to call home every night and my kids tracked me. I'd call 8 o'clock every night. I had a toll number just for home. Nobody else had it. When that phone rang at 8 o'clock, they knew it was me. And it's like, hey, Dad, where are you here? I'm in Houston. I'm here. Cool. You can actually make it fun. And it is... today I find that my son thinks that taking care of your family means we're just going to sit next to them on the couch. That's, to me, it's like, no, it's okay for them to be apart. They'll want you more when you come home, right? So there's a little bit, but I'll leave that. That's your guys' decision. I'm not getting in the middle of that.
A lot of that during COVID as well, because our son was born January 2020, and at that time you were working in the transportation space, so he was an essential worker. He was going to work every day with this newborn baby. So I ended up living with my parents for the week,
so that's
and
a
then
challenge.
coming home on the weekend to see Max. So we've had a bit of a soft.
Oh, so you've already kind of tested it out.
Soft intro into
I can tell you, and you're much more experienced and knowledgeable of the industry than my wife was at the time, because when I started on the road, I was like 20 years old, right? Like so I didn't even know about insurance and stuff like that. But the partner at home has to be as prepared, because they're the ones. And I'm back before days of cell phones, so now you could probably call. But if you had to call the insurance company for whatever reason at home, or a plumber or whatever. My wife had to do that because I'm on the road, and you only got hold of me if dispatch somehow told you where I was, right?
Yeah.
So nowadays it's cell phones a little easier, but it was very stressful for my wife at the time because she had never done it. I had taken care of all that stuff, and then when I went on the road, she had to learn how to do a lot of that because I couldn't call I was on the road wherever, right? So, so there's ways of working it out, but the road can be fun too. So that's it's a good thing. So you're going to be a power couple now, like the transportation power couple. I like that, right?
It's looking that way.
Wow, like the whole family. You guys just have birthdays at truck stops or something.
Just to dominate the space as much as possible.
Yeah, well, that's got to be cool for you though. Even in your job now. You must, I'm sure there's the odd question that you can bounce off and say, like, what happens here or what shouldn't happen here? Or what do I do now?
It makes coming home and venting, because a lot of the time that's what you're supposed to come home.
Those drivers, man, that guy.
There's already that understanding, so we don't have to get into the lore dump of let me explain why I'm frustrated. We can just come home and be like, I'm dealing with this driver. And
that is true, it makes that part of, a couple's relationship a lot easier, right? Because we just understand what each other are talking about, right? We, like Celine said, you can skip the explanation and just get to the juice, right? So it's certainly healthy for that part of the relationship. Yeah, absolutely.
And we worked together previously as well. Like tech support before we.
Oh wow! Okay, all right. So
we've always kind of been in each other's circles,
right?
Professionally.
You were going to say be each other's face, but you thought that's going to go wrong. It's going to start an argument tonight. So what'd you have to do to get the bursary? You mentioned an essay. What else? How does that process work? Because I don't know.
So it initially started with obviously just putting my name forward, right, and then once I was selected. I'm not sure if other candidates at the same time were asked to do the essay or similar parts.
I'm not sure.
That wasn't shared with me, but I wrote an essay. Calvin Bergman, like I mentioned, he had to write also like I would guess you would call it a recommendation letter, right? Sure. Similar of, in that vein. And then I needed a driver's abstract, obviously, which was mentioned. And what else? I think I'm missing one other key.
There's a criminal record you probably had to.
Yeah, which thankfully they missed that. No, I'm just kidding. It was
find out you're on death row now.
Squeaky clean. So it was just most of that, right? But the nice part about the essay was, again, like I said, what really attracted me to the scholarship was that it didn't have to be I want this because I want to be a truck driver, right? And again, like I said, it's not that I don't. It's just that, at this stage of my career in transportation, because I am young in that sense, right? Only about 4 years. my mind, I could take it wherever I wanted, right? And just being able to mention all the other ways that can impact what I do, especially as dispatch, like we talked about, really pulled me through. So that was, but I think that was about it. The essay, the recommendation letter from my employer, the my driver's abstract, criminal record, right? That, and then of course, a recommendation from, a friend. Right?
It didn't help. Yeah. Yes. So you got to take Lisa golfing now.
Yeah.
You got to take Lisa golfing.
You were put forward.
You're put forward, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Lisa does what Lisa does, which was nudge me in the right direction, then immediately disappear, right? She's like behind you going, this way, and then you turn around and she's gone. Yeah. But you're in the room, right? So, but it worked out great.
It's better than it. You know what? At least you've got a supportive group behind you, because it could be the other way where, why are you going for that? And no, we don't want you in that industry. Instead, you've got the other way. You've got everybody. Right. And I think that's really cool, actually.
Yeah. And my dad, of course, too, right? Like I said, as a truck driver, was super proud to hear, right? And again, it's not, looking at it from another perspective, right? Like there's a massive amount of discipline and courage it takes to operate a truck, right? Yeah. And the reality is that whether you choose to, drive it or not, which is, again, I'd love to at some point, those skills are transferable to other parts of your life, right? So that's another major draw of this opportunity for me. So.
Yeah. Have you written? So now where are you in the process? So you just got the award now. So when do you start your training? Or
as far as I understand, I've got a little bit of time now. Maybe I believe it starts maybe in a couple of months, but I could be wrong. But
you have to get a medical and you have to do all of that stuff.
Yeah, I believe all of that is part of it. But what I'm not too sure about is how the theory part will work, right? Like whether it can be done like. If it's like a remote thing, or if I have to show up at, if KRTS.
I might be your instructor. I do class for KRTS sometimes.
Oh, wow, awesome.
If they're really busy, I'm a fill-in. So I may be your instructor.
Yeah.
No, you probably. Well, I don't know. Matt just calls me when he needs me, so I don't know what they're. They've got top instructors there. I've been working with KRTS for years and years and years. So you're in a great school. Once in a while they have me come out and do. So it's not unusual for people to go, aren't you the podcast? Or even worse, I'm a caricature artist. So for weddings, and I've got people who've come to a wedding and they go, weren't you teaching me logbooks last week? And I said, yes, I was. But so anyway, so I do multiple things. But you're in a good school. So the theory part is normally like 5 days in school, depending on the course you have. It could be you'd go to a class for 8 hours a day.
Right.
I don't know how they're doing that with you. They probably put you into class, because I think the last person that won was in my class a couple times.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Yeah. So it depends on the schedule, but you'll go in class. I imagine you'll go to KRTS in Caledonia for your classes.
Right. Yeah.
And then you'll do your training on top of that. So there's yard training, driving training, and everything.
Of course, the practical side of it as
well. But you'll
be
much farther down the road, because you work at a trucking company. So you have access, even if they don't let you drive by yourself, you have access to practicing pre-trips, hanging around with other drivers, asking questions. Yeah. Like, you're going to be way far ahead than a candidate who has no access to trucks outside of the training that they get. So
that's true. Yes.
Take that in and ask the drivers questions. You'll find that the driver, have you seen a change? I don't know if you've told the drivers at work yet. Have they seen a change in you as far as, wow, he's going to be kind of taking his license, they might be ribbing you. I don't know.
No, I've mentioned it to a couple that I guess you could say on the closer side with, but like I decided to wait until today, right? Yeah, so right. I'm I'll definitely start mentioning it more, because obviously I want to pull from their experience as much as possible to help me, but I chose to wait till the handshake to really make it public knowledge, I guess you could say, right? Just to be on the more safe side in case anyone wanted to pull a quick one on me, but no, it wasn't
they
the
won't.
Case, so.
I think most will be supportive. I think,
for sure.
We're all supportive of the right people coming in, and somebody, as long as somebody wants to learn. Like, that's all I want to see, is somebody actually wants to be there. We get so many people that are kind of shoved in there from, second careers or something, and they maybe don't really want to be there. And, so it's nice when you get people who are really interested. And I think if you're already showing that, right? Like, I mean, you wouldn't have written an essay if you weren't. So, so you're already there. So I just want to say congratulations. Good luck with your training. If I could be helpful, you've got 1,000 episodes that you can go through if you want to get some background information. And Lisa's been on, and everybody.
Oh wow, really? Okay.
Oh yeah, she's a regular.
Wow.
She's a regular.
Awesome. Cool. Very cool.
You'll most of the people in that room have been on this podcast. So if you want to know who was in the room today, you can just.
That might be great.
Starting with Matt and Kim, and they're regulars on there as well. So
perfect. Sounds
and now
good.
you guys are on there too. So you helped us we hit 1,000 episodes in June. So
wow,
you guys,
congratulations!
Thank you. That's big for a
amazing.
podcast. So
thank you.
Anyway, good luck with the training. Good luck with life in general.
Yes, thank you.
Good luck on the golf course because I know Lisa's golf.
Oh yeah.
I follow her on Facebook. She's either golfing or drinking. Those are two
she's
things
not
I see.
inviting me to the links. I'll tell you that right now because she's only got 3 days to play around.
I love seeing her. So anyway, good luck with all of that. You will do wonderful, and thanks for being on the show.
Thank you very much, Bruce. Thank you.
All right, so there you go. Those are the award winners. Those are the next young people coming into our world of transportation. And I got a feeling they're going to be valuable assets from what I've seen on stage and in the arena there. So that was pretty cool. Congratulations to all of them. They all did a really good job, and look forward to seeing themselves and others at future Private Motor Truck Council events. So very cool to see what they've done and how they've done it. So anyway, that's it for now. So let's move on out, and congratulations to all of them. Hey, follow us on we're social. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and TikTok. You can find us. So get out there and give us a shout and follow us wherever we go. And we look forward to seeing you guys, what you do, how you do it, and why you do it. And I look forward to getting in to see the people over at Mohawk and maybe talking careers there and how that works. So, all right. Have a good one, my friends. Talk to you later. Bye for now.
This has been another episode of the Lead Pedal Podcast. For more information or to subscribe to the podcast, visit theleadpedalpodcast.com and be sure to follow the podcast on Facebook and Twitter.